Hey, welcome back to San Diego Living. You know, we've talked a lot about, well, relationship breakups with LoriClarkViviano here, our marriage and family law specialist. But today, we want to kind of flip it around and give you a little hope that, you know, if you've gone through a breakup and maybe an ugly divorce, hey, life goes on and it can be fantastic because she brought in her own living proof.
Yes, I did. Well, we talk about him all the time.
Your husband David came in
there
today.
you go.
Is it Carp? David Carp?
It is.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
Nice to be seen.
Well, and do you ever get a word in edgewise around the house?
Rarely.
Okay, well, let's talk about, again, you guys wanted to have just kind of an open, honest discussion here today about divorce was ugly, going through it wasn't great, but you guys managed to find each other, and life goes on.
Yes.
So, David, at what point did you meet Lori? Where in the process here?
Yeah, so I was separated from my previous wife, and a couple of months later decided to try dating online, and so and started with eHarmony, and maybe you know, it's kind of odd, but on my 6th day on eHarmony, I met Lori.
Lori, you never told me you were on eHarmony.
Oh, yes, I did. No, you have to go back.
No, it's better for the conversation if you say no.
Oh, no, never told you, never told you. You know, the thing is, I had a segment on this. We are living proof.
Right.
You can meet online, and no, they're not creepers. Although you do need to be careful, and you do need to look at the profiles and maybe, you know, Google the person to make sure you're getting what they say. And I think eHarmony does a good job of screening. What do you think?
I think so as well. I mean, now I was looking forward to dating for a couple of years and that sort of thing. After all, I was married for a long time. And as I mentioned, I met Lori, you know, in the first week of being in eHarmony.
Oh, but I was not the only date, so don't let him.
No, I wasn't. She wasn't my first.
Okay. So you actually went on a few dates from
I did.
eHarmony, and how did you actually approach Lori and say, okay, I think I'd like to go out with you, or Lori, knowing you, it might have been you that approached David and said, okay, big boy, let's have some dinner.
Yeah.
So it was you that made
well,
the
I
first
think
move.
it was actually both of us. So the way eHarmony works is you share some details about yourself and your personality and things you like to do, and then pictures and that sort of thing. And I think we both kind of liked what we saw.
And did you both use your high school picture, or did you actually use current pictures?
I think I used a picture to make fun of myself with maybe involving a little alcohol and maybe a big fish or something like that.
Yeah.
What, was there a sense of humor? Did you?
He's got a sense of humor and I have none. So.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, the thing about it is, you know, I really wanted to have people see that, yes, it was not easy, but you know, you have to put yourself out there. And both of us are very, very busy people, and the internet's great because you can do it at your own time, your own pace, you know, and whatever. And you know, like we've talked, is he didn't have the greatest experience with his divorce.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because this is the thing that really sours a lot of folks on even wanting to get out there and try to have a social life once again, is because the divorce is so ugly. What was that like for you? Yeah,
so I've had a lot of friends you know, go through divorce, and many of them have been, you know, very bitter, certainly not enjoyed the experience. And a couple of people have pulled in and become more introverted and become workaholics and do other things. And that just wasn't for me. I just said, you know, I'm still young and I want to get on with my life and enjoy the second half. And again, I was very lucky. I met Lori on the 6th day on eHarmony, and Lori is a totally different person, you know, for me and from my previous experience, and a true Southern Californian. And so we've had a ball.
Were you concerned, either one of you, at all, though, about getting the facts up front, about there being any misinformation as part of that experience?
Look at our cute pictures.
Oh,
see?
there they are. They're
he didn't know I did that.
Okay, so somebody is going through a divorce. You know, I will say right now, dating a divorce attorney is a little scary, and so you know, you can't afford to be a very secretive person because Lori's snoopy, and she would the first person who would go through your things just to check. So and Lori is actually what you see is what you get. She's a very honest person, and so I really wasn't all that worried about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but give a good tip about divorce.
Okay, so I would give one. So my divorce ended 2 years ago officially, although the attorneys are still working on the case and still trying to work out details of dividing assets and that sort of thing. If I had any advice for those of you contemplating divorce, think about settling as opposed to going to court. Going to court costs you a fortune, and the only people who benefit from it are the attorneys. And so I have worked through a number of different attorneys, and I get tired of one, I move to another. If you have an attorney, they're business people. You know, what I always say is divorce lawyers are people too, but they're business people first, and oftentimes you see that their main interest is their own revenue generation,
Yes.
and they will, in some cases, just turn the crank and run up the bill, and they're not so much interested in resolving the issues. And so if you let them do it and let it go all the way through trial, it can cost a fortune.
Well, and this is one of the things that we talk with Lori about. You can be very proud of her all the time. Is I know you are not totally motivated here by a profit incentive. You've had folks walk into your office and you have tried to tell them, I don't think you guys are you're not there yet.
Right.
I want you to go back and get some counseling. I want you to think about this, think about that. And then if you're still determined, then I'd be glad to help you. You like to ramp things down rather than spin people up.
I think it's the ICU nurse in me. Get them in, get them out. Move them on, and then the quicker you do it, the quicker, like he's saying, you can be happy and move on to the second part of your life. Get it behind you. And I love that he said settling, because it is important. I make a lot more money if I litigate, but really who benefits? Me. So get through it, take a good lawyer's advice, and move through it, don't you think?
Right, and so another point is to communicate verbally if possible. It's very expensive to have your attorney communicate for you via letters and motions and that sort of thing. It's much easier to have them talk with each other and try to resolve issues rather than having to do it in front of the judge.
Yes.
All right, LoriClarkViviano and David, it's great to finally meet you.
Good to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Well, there was a time there when I thought perhaps that you were a figment of her imagination. So,
right.
But you seem every bit as nice as she actually described.
Right.
So.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice, very nice to see you. Folks, Lori has 2 offices here in San Diego, so you're never going to be far away. If you just need to talk about it, get in touch with LoriClarkViviano. And again, there'll be no pressure to do anything that you're not prepared to do. And in fact, she might even back you off a little bit, tell you to take a deep breath.